Hello, 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 and welcome to Everyday Sent. My name is Dave Kruse, and you are joining us. We have a conversation about what does it mean to live sent in our everyday lives. Live sent, the mission of First Baptist Starkville, and so we hope that through our conversations here, you'll get some thoughts, some ideas of what you might be doing in your everyday life. So we are in a 4-week series called Rhythms of Membership. It comes out of a conversation I recently had with a group who was going, hey, what does it mean to be a member here? What are the expectations? What are those key rocks, those big rocks for us? And so we are in week 2 of this. And last week we talked to Tom, our worship pastor here, about, hey, what does it mean to gather regularly? And the 4 big rocks are gather regularly, find community, serve, but not for the reason you think, and live generously. Again, not for the reason you think. And so today, I'm flying solo. I got JM over here. JM's a producer behind the scenes. Hey, JM.
Hey, everybody.
He may jump in as the peanut gallery here and there just to tell me all the things I'm saying wrong and tell me what I need to say different and better, or to add some great wisdom other ways. And so we're going to talk a little bit about, hey, why do we want you as a member here at First Baptist participating in community? And the heart of it simply becomes because you're created for community. God himself is community, the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It is a perfect unity of community found in God, and we are created in God's image. Genesis 1, let us make man in our image. And so we, as humans, as a part of God's creation, are created with a desire for community. You skip down a little bit into Genesis, you get into chapter 2, verse 18, and God says it's not good for man to be alone, and so he creates Eve, and there's the first human community that is happening. So God creates you, me, everybody to be in community. And it doesn't matter if you're a believer or not. It is innate in being a human. So you look at anybody, anywhere in our world, they are looking for their people, their tribe, their community of people that they can do life with, where they can be known and they can know other people, where they can encourage and support one another, where they can talk and have fun, and all those things that come with community, where they can support one another through the ups and downs of life. And so we are created for community. And so when you come here to First Baptist, we want you finding community. Acts chapter 2 and chapter 4 demonstrate that in the New Testament church. The believers regularly came together. They ate meals together. They worshiped together. They did life together. They met each other's needs. And so we have an example throughout the Old Testament, throughout the New Testament, that community is part of what it means to be made in the image of God and to be a part of the New Testament church. And so if you are a member here at First Baptist, we want you finding your community. And so a lot of times people are like, well, what does that mean? What does it mean for me to find our community or my community? And why does this really matter? So I'm going to peel back the layers a little bit. I have the fun, the joy, the responsibility, whatever you want to call it, of leading the team that is responsible for a lot of the community that happens in our church. Now, it happens in other ministries, but I've got adult groups. Stevie and Sarah Joy and Christy and Jimbo have all the other groups that are happening. And a lot of the community happens within that. And so let's talk about if you join an adult group, what should you be encountering? What should be happening in those groups? And so, and they happen in our other groups as well, but explicitly, when you join a group, this is what I'm asking of our groups to be. 3 things that I'm hoping you will encounter and find if you join one of our community groups. First, we want you to grow. Live Sent is not a passive, just sit back and it kind of happens just organically, but it's a process of growing more and more into the person God has created you to be, the process of sanctification, being more like Christ. And so that happens in community. Obviously, it involves Bible study, but it's not just Bible study for the sake of knowledge. It is Bible study for the sake of growing more into the image of Christ and more into the mission that Christ has given us. JM, you got community?
Mm-hmm.
What community are you a part of here?
I'm part of the college group.
Part of the college group. JM is a master's level student. He is some big cybersecurity guru guy. He can talk about things I can't even begin to explain. And so you find in your community that element of growth, right?
Yes.
And so Jimbo and previously Nathan regularly were having Bible study with you.
Yes.
And I would imagine that it was not just about, hey, let me get my head knowledge of who Jesus is, but it was intended to help you grow into more of who God has created you to be.
Yes, absolutely.
And so that should be happening in your group. So I would say, as you are looking for your community, or you're exploring and evaluating your community, is your community helping you grow in your faith? It's not about head knowledge. Yes, we want you to understand and know the Bible, but if it simply stays up here and never moves to your heart and affects your life, how you interact with God, how you interact with others, how you respond to the leading of God, how you respond to the sin nature that is defeated but not dead, that's active in your life, well, then all you're doing is getting smarter. You're not really growing closer to God through that. And so, is your community helping you grow as a believer? If it is, fabulous. Lean into that. If it's not, then maybe we need to have some conversation with your group about, hey, how do we help affect this? Or I hate to say it this way, maybe you need to go find a new group. Maybe you need to start a group. We can talk more about that if you want. And so growing is one of the three things that I'm looking for to happen in our communities here at First Baptist. Second thing is we want you being equipped. Well, what does that mean? Well, we want you to live sent. We want you following Jesus and inviting others to come along. Well, that invitation happens a whole host of ways. And so that's where we equip you to, how do you engage people? How do you have gospel conversations? How do you go on mission? Be that here in Starkville, be that in your office, be that across the world. We want you to be equipped. So as you engage people, as you invite them along, to come along with you in this thing called faith, Christianity, relationship with Jesus, you have some assurances that I don't have it all answered, but I can engage with the majority of the questions people are going to ask me, and I can do it comfortably. And I feel like the church has given me the handles, the tools to be able to actively participate in the mission of living sent. So we want you growing in your community groups. We want you being equipped in your community groups. And so, and I'd say honestly, for most churches, at least all the churches I've been a part of, that's probably the hardest part of being in a group, right? Because, well, yeah, I want to do my Bible study. Yeah, I want to know my people. But being equipped means, well, I'm taking a step into more active ministry. And that's uncomfortable sometimes. And so, if that's not happening in your group, let's talk. How can we help your group be more intentional about equipping you? Maybe we need to come in and have some conversations about, hey, what does it mean to have a gospel conversation? How do you have a gospel conversation? How do I go get these answers to the questions that maybe they're asking? And let's be honest, I think Andy and I have talked about this before. Most of the time, people are not asking the questions that we think they're going to ask. They're not asking questions that are kind of a third or fourth level. They're not asking, are you a Calvinist? They're not. JM, you ever been asked that in a group?
No, not at all.
Not at all. And so most of the time they're going, who is God? Why should I care? What does this mean, sin and relationship, separation from God? They're asking those kind of questions. Well, how is it different from Mormonism, Buddhism, whatever you want to say? And those are the kind of things that we want you to be able to answer. You don't have to be able to answer, what's the hypostatic union? That's one Andy likes to throw out from the stage a lot. And I've been to seminary, and sometimes I have to stop and go, wait, what's the hypostatic union again? I need to go back to my tools and remind myself. Andy's a way deeper theologian than I am. Let's just be honest on this. JM swims in the same theology lakes as Andy, right, JM?
No.
Not at all. Okay. So it's good. And so here we are. We want you growing in a group. We want you being equipped in a group. But the last one is we want you being cared for in a group. And it's in the groups that you find your community who is going to walk with you through life. And life happens. Sometimes it's amazing. Hey, you had a kid, you've retired, you had a grandkid show up, you got a promotion, all the things that can happen that are positive in life. We want your group walking with you, celebrating with you in those moments. But life also has some not so great moments. Losing a parent, losing a spouse, losing a job. Hey, we're having financial challenges. Our marriage is having some challenges. And it's in that biblical community that you are cared for, that you have people who are walking with you, who are encouraging you, who may have to carry you through a season of life, who are the ones who are going, hey, because we love you so much, we're going to call you out in love because the actions that you're doing are not in line with Scripture. with what God calls us to. And so it's in community that all of these things happen. And so when we're doing our membership class, I often point out we are a large church. Y'all, First Baptist is no longer a small or a medium-sized church. We are running right around 1,000 people in worship. 1,000 people. Now, that's not as many as you might see at a football game. I get that. But for a church, that's big. And the reality of it is you can hide at First Baptist if you want. If you don't want to find community, if you don't want to be known, you can do that pretty well here. You can come in a minute after service starts and you can leave as soon as Andy does the closing prayer and not have to meet anybody or interact with anybody. And we get that some people do that. But what happens then when life happens and you need someone to step in to care for you? We don't know you. There's not people around you that know you. There's not people who can respond to you because you have chosen to withhold yourself from community. And I get it. Maybe you're an introvert. Maybe you've had a bad experience in the past with a group. Maybe you've got your reasons of I'm busy. And we're going to talk about all these reasons in just a minute. But let me just encourage you that if you're a part of a group, you're going to have more opportunity to be cared for when life happens, the positives and the negatives. So if you join a group, these are the things that I'm hoping, encouraging, wanting to have happen in our groups. We want you we want you to be equipped. We want you to be cared for. We want you growing. And so that's the basis behind our groups, because you're created to be in community, and those things happen most of the time, when you're in community. So maybe you're going, well, I've got all my reasons why I shouldn't. So let's address a few of the major reasons I hear. Well, I'm just too busy. Well, okay, great. Aren't we all? It's a priority. You make it a priority. Hey, God has created me to be in community. I've got these other people who are followers of Jesus. Can I not carve out some time to be with them? And so I would say, well, what's keeping you so busy? Are you working so much in an unhealthy pace? Are you traveling so much that you can't find community? Are you, have you let your kids' schedules dictate where your focus is? Those kind of things. We're all busy, but we make time for that which we value. And so I'd encourage you, really look at your time and audit yourself in some ways and go, where is my time going? And is there something that is not as important as finding biblical community? The other thing I would say here is, if your schedule legitimately keeps you from being able to join in to our regularly scheduled community times, 9:45 on Sunday morning is where the majority of our community happens at First Baptist. There's a conversation we need to have of, well, is there a better time, and is there a way to form a group that gives that community that is more in line with where you have opportunity? So maybe you do have to work on Sunday mornings. Maybe you're in a service industry, retail, healthcare, something that, hey, I don't have control of my schedule. I'm required to be here at this time, but I'm free on Tuesday nights. Well, can we maybe talk about forming a group that meets on Tuesday nights? And I could go into the weeds here. Hey, this is what it means to be a group leader. And let me just say, I'll give this much. When I say group leader, I'm not saying the teacher. A group leader is simply that person who's making sure that the group is moving forward in healthy ways. You may or may not be the teacher of the group. That's a little different thought process. You may be more skilled at hospitality, and someone else is gifted at teaching in that group. And so just hear me say, it's not, if you come and talk with me about, well, I can't meet here on Sundays because legitimately I'm too busy with my job, or I've got an ailing parent and it's my turn to sit with mom or dad on Sunday mornings regularly. Well, then let's talk about it. And let's see who can we surround you with, who can walk with you and equip you and care for you and help you grow in your faith and understanding, maybe at a different time. I'm chasing a rabbit. JM, help me not chase rabbits. Okay. Right. So JM now has a little Nerf gun pointed at me. And here in a minute, you may see a Nerf flying at me. So it's good. Second thing, fear of vulnerability. Hey, opening up is hard. Yes. But we're not asking you to bare your soul on the beginning. We're not asking you to tell your deep, dark secrets, your deepest, darkest sin day one. We're asking you to come in. We're asking you to participate, answer a question or two, let people know your name. We're not saying, hey, this group has to quickly be swimming in the Mariana Trench in terms of your community. It takes time to develop that vulnerability. And so, and it's even harder if you're walking into an established group that already has people that know one another, that care for one another, that know more of life. and you're trying to insert yourself in there, that means you got to be a little more vulnerable a little more quickly than you might be comfortable with. I get it. I'm that way. Let me just tell you, move at your pace. Find your people that you think are your people and move at your pace. Like, I don't open up quickly. I have to really develop a level of trust with you before I begin to share with you, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm struggling with. This is what God's sharing with me in these moments. And it's okay. We all move at a little different pace. Past hurt. Hey, I've had bad group and I can't ever do it again. Why? It's kind of like falling off a horse. You ever fallen off a horse, Jam?
I haven't.
I have. It stinks. It's not a lot of fun. I'm not very good at horseback rider. My sister will tell you that. She's an amazing horseback rider. And one time I got on her horse, I didn't know what I was doing, and I fell off the horse. And, you know, being me, I was like, well, I'm done with this horse. This is stupid. I'm not getting back on there. And my sister, she's 3 years younger than me. She's way more, well, she just knows how to push my buttons. She was all over me. Get back on that horse right now. You are not walking away. And just to make her leave me alone, I got back on the horse. Why? Because she knew if I never got back on that horse quickly, I would probably never get on another horse. Now, I don't care about getting on a horse. But it's the same thing with a group. Hey, you had a bad experience. Don't let that define moving forward. Heal, definitely. But also recognize that one group is not indicative of every other group that exists. And so maybe you didn't find your people. Maybe they said something painful, hurtful. Maybe you're just like, the teacher had a moral failure, whatever it may be. But that one group doesn't define every other group. Don't let that happen. Get back on the horse. Let's help you find another group. I'm looking at some other things we've talked about in previous conversations, consumer mindset. Hey, it's not about what you can get out of it. It's about what you bring a lot of times. Again, parts of the body. We are all a unique individual part of the body. Tom referenced it in our conversation last week. You're going to hear about it when we talk with Christy and Josh and talking about serving. And so we are all created uniquely. We bring some uniqueness to the body. And when we choose not to participate, we're actually choosing to not have a whole body, the body of Christ. There's a part missing. And so you bring value because of how God has created you. And when you choose not to participate because, well, it's not for me or whatnot, you're actually withholding from the body. And you're not allowing other parts of the body to experience your uniqueness, to learn from you, to grow with you, and to walk with you. And so let's talk about, how do we take a step? How do we go about this here at First Baptist? Why, if you are being moved to find a group, come talk with me. We are in process of putting together new groups. So if we don't have something, we're probably working towards it. We're aware that we have some gaps that we need to address. Maybe we need to have a conversation of, are you being called to start a group? I know that's a scary thought. Please don't let that throw you. Let's have a conversation though. But I would say, if you come to me and you're like, hey, I'm not ready to lead a group, but I'm ready to find a group. Great. We're going to give you a couple different options. Right now, majority of them happen on Sunday morning. And you go try one. Give it a week or two. Discover quickly, is this the place for me? Are these the people for me? If not, it's okay. We're going to give you another group then to go try, and then another group if we need to. And if you get to the fourth group, we may have a conversation about, hey, what's really going on here, because we have great groups. But it's finding your place, and it's putting yourself out there. Not saying you have to, again, share everything that's going on in your life, but it's putting yourself out there to go, hey, I'm Dave. Who are you? How do I get to know you a little bit? And that's scary sometimes, isn't it, James? I see you shaking your head back behind the computer.
Yeah, the college group does a very good job at that.
Yeah, they do. And a lot of our groups do a good job of that. And, you know, if you discover, hey, a group is not open, then maybe I need to talk to a group leader. But maybe it's just, hey, they're having a bad day too. I mean, it's a living. It happens, unfortunately. And so, you know, I want you to understand, if you're a member here, we don't want you walking alone. You were created to be in community. We have great community here at First Baptist. There's purpose behind community. It's not just another step to being busy, something else to add to your social calendar. It has intention to help you grow and to contribute to the life and the flavor of the body here at First Baptist Starkville. And so we want you to really think about, why am I not part of community? Or think about, am I getting in the community that growth, that equipping, and that care that I just talked about? If not, we need to have some conversation. If you're ready to take that step, we need to have some conversation. Maybe if you're discovering it's time for me to find or explore a new group or a new community aspect, great. Let's have the conversation. If you haven't picked up, let's have a conversation. That's all we have to start with is just some conversation. Nothing scary. You're not committing to anything, but we're going to encourage you to find that spot. And so, JM, what question might I not have answered that you're like, well, what about this? Totally putting you on the spot with this one.
Ooh, where can I see a list of the groups?
Sure. So you can go to our website, fbcstarkville.com. I don't have it right in front of me, so I don't know the exact pathway, but our groups are listed online. It's going to take you into a place called Church Center. You can look through the groups. You can filter by stage of life. If you're in person with us, you come up to the info desk, which is kind of by the choir room where we serve coffee. It's behind the stage of the worship center. I've got a list of groups there. It's just a list, the group leader, the room name, but I've got volunteers and myself who are at this desk who can talk with you about, well, you're approximately this old, you're married, you're single, you're whatever. We can make some suggestions and we're going to walk you to the room. We're not going to just be like, well, go up these stairs and turn here and then walk in this room with strangers. We're going to walk you in and help you at least meet the group leader, and then they take over and help you meet other people. If the group leader's not there, hopefully I know one person in the room and I can be like, hey, so-and-so, this is so-and-so, and all of that. So yeah, those are the big places. The other thing, if you're like, I don't use the internet and I want to talk to someone before a Sunday morning, I don't want to do it with the hustle and bustle, call me. Call up to the office. We'll get you connected with me. I don't have a phone in my office right now, but I'll get a message and I'll call you back on my cell phone. If I'm in the office, I'll call you back within about a minute. If I'm not in the office, it'll be waiting for me when I get there. And so, good question. Thank you for asking that one. I didn't. Any other one that you're like, well, what about this? Because we got like 90 seconds before I got to wrap it up. Or we can just wrap it up, right? Yeah. This little red button that they probably can't see, but I can. So yeah, push that. And the music starts. And the music means we're at the end of Everyday Scent. And I want to say thanks for joining me today, not us. Well, JM, he makes us and us. So we want to say thanks for being here. Appreciate you taking your time. We're going to be back next week continuing this Rhythms of Membership. I got Christy Camp, our preschool director, one of our college interns who are going to be a part of it. We'll be here. We hope you will too. Y'all have a great week.